Your anger is a consuming fire. Let the wicked fall like dung upon the earth. Lay waste their cities, let them not rebuild. Judgment is here. Who can stand? Who can stay the judge's hand? Your eyes search the earth, search.
All right, this is from the Eurobanist.com. How the skin of black people were used for leather, for shoes and underwears in 1880s Philadelphia. All right, how the skin of black people was used for leather, for shoes and underwears in 1880s Philadelphia. Below is a newspaper publication by Philadelphia News that captures various reports of white Americans who used the skin of black people, enslaved Africans, the children of Israel, to make shoes, slippers, and other personal effects. All right, read the publication below. Philadelphia News, The Mercury, Saturday morning, March 17, 1888. I recall mentioning 2 or 3 years ago that a renowned physician in our city was wearing shoes made from slave skin. He continued to follow that tradition, claiming that an African tan skin procedure, the most durable and malleable leather known to man. I only met him on the street last week with a beautiful new pair of sneakers. I smiled as I stared at his shoes as often as do. His pedal coverings have an irresistible fascination for me and said, "Do you have the downtrodden African beneath your feet?" Oh, wow. I presume you mean to inquire if I still wear shoes made of Negro skin. He replied flatly and without a hint of a smile. I absolutely do, and I have no intention of changing until I find a leather that is softer, lasts longer, or has a nicer aesthetic. This is a subject about which I have no feelings. If I were a Southerner in the American sense, I could be accused of being motivated by racial prejudice. But by birth, I am a foreigner who has become an American citizen by naturalization. I took part in the insurrection so that black people could be emancipated. If a white man's skin was thick enough, I use it for the same reason. And if anyone wants to put my epidermis on his feet after I've taken my last breath, he has my antemortem approval. Mm-mm-mm. In their blackness, the doctor's shoes always have an unusually rich lustrousness. He assures me that his feet are never hurt. When I last saw him, the new pair he was wearing made no cracking noises and appeared to be as comfortable as if they were worn for a month. He told me that their predecessors had been in constant use for 8 months. He gets the skins from Negroes whose body have been dissected in one of the major medical schools. The nicest leather may be found on the thighs. The soles are made by gluing together multiple layers of leather. A tanner Wolfendorf, 16 miles from Reading, prepares the skin. The shoes are made by a local French shoemaker who has no idea what the leather true character is, but who marvels at its perfect smoothness and claims that it outperforms the finest rich calf skin. Do not believe for a moment that this doctor is an exception in terms of putting human skin to practical use. Medical students frequently display a wide range of things in which the skin or bones of some dissected humans have been gruesomely used. They occasionally offer these to their friends who appreciate them greatly. One of the town's nefarious characters carries a matchbox with a chunk of the skin of a lovely young woman discovered drowned in a Delaware River. It hasn't lost its natural color. Oh my gosh. Another young man I know carries a cigar box made of Negro skin with a horrible skull and crossbone carved in relief on one side. One of the country's most well-known surgeons who practice in the city has a stunning instrument case made of completely made completely of leather derived from African skin. The magnificent pair of dark slippers are worn by a young society girl in this city, and the exceptional lustrousness of the leather always draws the admiration of her acquaintances when they see them. The young doctor who gave them to her had just returned from a long trip abroad, and he told her that he had brought them from a Turk in Alexandria. He didn't know what kind of leather they were made of, but he assumed it was the skin of some wild animal. The leather was made in Wolfendorf, and the skin originated from a Negro cadaver that was previously prone on a Jefferson College dissecting table. The Negro's kinky hair was used to make the rosettes on the slippers. The Most High said that we will be devoured in this land. They made clothes with the skin of Negro slaves, and I'm sure they are still doing it. They have a lot of missing people, and that are never found. I'm sure they are taking body parts. I'm sure they are taking the hairs, the skin, the teeth, the organs, the melanin, and melanin is worth more than gold and precious stones and stuff. So we know they still doing this stuff. And this is why, this reason number one of this judgment series that I'm about to do, that I'm starting today. This is the first video. This is why they are going to be judged harshly. I'm sitting up here, I'm trying not to cry reading this stuff. Like, so this is a Bible that's bound in skin. And I was able to find a few other pictures, but this is going to be it for this time. Y'all look forward to the next series video. Shalom.